Welcome to the Downtown, brought to you by Arlington Citizen Media. I am Daryl Smith Jr., and across the computer screen from me is...
I am Rody John, and to my left is...
Amy!
On today's show, we talked to Brandon for Hurtado BBQ about finally opening their brick and mortar, staying open during COVID, and what's in store after they finally open.
We also speak to Kevin and Julie from Tipsy Oak about transforming their business in the time of COVID and the way the community has stood behind them and more.
So what have y'all been up to this week during our global pandemic?
We have been working on an actual fundraiser for the local artists and musicians. We've been working with Legal Draft. We've been working with Mavericks. We will be working with Tipsy Oak, Hurtado, and Arlington Music Hall soon. So something to look forward to. And we will be doing that live from our Facebook Live. So look forward to that. We don't have an actual date. It will be soon.
Yeah, that'll be soon. Again, this is a benefit. You'll have the ability to donate right to a Venmo that's been set up. And this is particularly for artists who have lost any ability to make revenue because of COVID. And, you know, some supporting people like the film crew that has been gracious enough to help us.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's it. None of this is for us. We want to do this for the community and give people sort of like a night out feeling, since we just cannot do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been doing, Daryl?
Nothing. I have been working and being a teacher, and I did eat. We did order actually Hurtado BBQ yesterday, so we've been eating that all day because it's a lot of food. Mm-hmm. It's good food, but it's a lot of food, so it's definitely more than a one meal sort of thing for us. What about y'all? Have y'all been eating anywhere?
The last 24 hours I've eaten from two different Mansfield locations of different eateries, Primo's or El Primo's, and then Hearth Cafe for breakfast. It was delicious.
We're currently in the middle of heated dinner negotiations.
Yes. You had the catch the other night, did you not?
Yeah. We went and picked up from the catch, and that was good. They have a family meal option, just like a lot of these places now that are reasonably priced and something the whole family can get. So that was good. We still have a ton of food left over in the fridge.
You know, one of the things that I've found very interesting about all of this is, like, not only are restaurants in a lot of cases, like, you know, yeah, you can totally go to Tipsy Oak and buy food that Tipsy Oak prepared, but also, you know, them and other places have been doing those like take-home things where it's like, yo, you get the meat, you get the sides, like you just got to heat them up at home or cook them at home. I've seen places like sell eggs and like soap and groceries. Like these restaurants have turned into like these weird like general stores almost, which I think is kind of cool, but also just, you know, a little weird at the same time.
Yeah, I believe the Dog House or House of Dogs and Beer Gardens in the Highlands.
In the Highlands?
Yeah, I believe they have started doing groceries as well. So
not Dog House, Lazy Dog.
No,
Lazy Dog has done it too. That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's whatever that hot dog place is.
Ooh, that place is good.
Place is good.
Yeah, you know, that's just filling a niche that people need, and that's what I like is the amount of experimentation that we're allowing to happen right now.
Yeah, I think that that's like one of the things that you may see more of even as this thing continues, right? Because it's not like just because the businesses will be open per se, like, you know, Governor Abbott's talking about letting retail do pickup and stuff like that. But you may actually see even more of this kind of weird experimentation that allows businesses to like continue operating, but still maintain, you know, safety from a viral infection sort of standpoint. And I think you'll see some like new business models come out of this, which is not something that I was thinking about at all like a month ago whenever this all started to kind of hit the fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of talked about it before. People have got to adapt and they've got to pivot, you know, as opposed to just, I mean, unfortunately, I've seen a lot of restaurants just kind of put their head in the sand and they're like, okay, well, when this is over, we'll open back up and we'll talk about it then. But until then, we're not really going to do anything. But then we've also had a lot of these places try to figure out, hey, how do we do this as opposed to so that we can still make money and then we can still be prevalent within the community.
Well, and I think to some of this too, in the way that food in this country is made, it is not primarily, but there is a large portion of it that goes to restaurants. And if we are not eating at those restaurants, how are those foods that are being packaged and sold to those in those kind of quantities that you sell to restaurants? How does that then get to us in a way that, like, if the grocery stores are, the shelves are a little bare sometimes, but no, you can also go get a steak from Tipsy Oak instead. Just one of those things I think is pretty cool and kind of a cool thing to see happening. And I'm excited, like Amy said, to see more of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious to see how things will continue after everything is back to, I guess, whatever the new normal will be, and then how much people will still continue to do those things. So we shall see.
Yeah, exciting times.
We're here with Brandon from Hurtado BBQ. How are you today?
Doing great.
Great. So I guess let's do kind of a timetable situation. So you guys first started at Division, and then you guys moved over to your brick and mortar, and then your official first day open was what day again? I mean, I was there. I just don't remember exactly what day it was.
Yeah, it was February 22nd of 2020.
Okay. So, and then, that was roughly around the time that we all were knowledgeable somewhat of the corona situation, but we weren't exactly sure what was going on here in America. And then, you fast forward a month later and you're only available to do takeout and delivery. I guess let's go back to when you actually opened up the brick and mortar. The line was all the way around the black box, which was almost a block down, and it was that way for hours and hours even after you opened. How great was that feeling?
We have been really blessed since we opened the food truck to have lines down the street, but to invest all of our time and resources into an actual brick and mortar and have those customers follow us over here to Front Street and still maintain those lines down the street. I think whenever we had our grand opening, there was 170 people in line whenever the doors opened.
Yeah.
It's just an incredible feeling that people appreciate what we're doing and enjoy our food enough to wait in line for that long. Personally, I don't know. The only time I've ever waited that long to eat food was at Franklin's.
Yeah.
And it was kind of how it felt. I mean, we had Legal Draft down here providing beer to people for free. And, it felt kind of like the whole Franklin's vibe whenever we first opened. So it's definitely different now, seeing as how we're only doing curbside pickup and delivery, but we're still busy. So we're very grateful, even without the lines out the door.
So how has this social distancing and all of this affected your menu? Are you offering different types of specials than you were ordinarily, or are you just serving as you were?
It hasn't changed it drastically. We have stopped some of the specials we were doing, like beef cheek, barbacoa. We're not doing as many different kinds of sausages as before. We've kind of changed just to one sausage a month. We have like a specialty sausage a month. So this month we're doing pork belly burn-in sausage. And that's kind of something we'd planned on doing anyways here in the brick and mortar, just to streamline things a little bit more for us. But the menu hasn't changed that drastically, to be honest. We still make all of the meats that we were making before, literally 6 days a week.
Yeah. So what are your hours? So you guys were what, Wednesday to Sunday, right?
We're still Wednesday to Sunday, but we're cooking 6 days a week. So on Tuesday, we're cooking brisket and beef ribs all day long for the next morning's lunch service.
Right. So how far out are you guys delivering right now?
We deliver within about an 8-mile radius of the restaurant.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah. How have you seen I mean, you haven't been open but a month by the time this really hit. So
Yeah.
how have you been, I mean, if you even can compare February to March?
So those numbers are going to be a little bit skewed just because
Yeah.
of the grand opening and everything. But in terms of us just opening up regularly in the brick and mortar versus doing the whole takeout and delivery thing, we're actually not doing bad. We're doing a lot better than some of our neighbors and even other barbecue restaurants in North Texas. Luckily for us, we were doing online pre-orders before the whole COVID-19 crisis hit. So people were used to going online and ordering, and we had set up our new point of sale through Toast POS, who has a really nice streamlined ordering form. So that has helped us tremendously, that we already had all those processes in place and we weren't having to play catch up like a lot of other restaurants who didn't have online ordering and were really just focused on the foot traffic coming to the restaurant.
Right. Now, I've noticed that you guys have been doing stuff for the first responders. Can you elaborate more on how you've been helping the community in that way?
Yeah, so we have a first responder discount. We give 15% off for any first responders. Anytime that we have food left over, which isn't too often, thankfully, but if we do, it goes straight to the police station or we donate it, to someone who maybe doesn't have dinner plans for that night or is having a tough time and maybe is out of a job. So we've tried as much as we can to give back to the local community because they're the first reason why we're here to begin with.
Right, exactly.
That's great. So once things kind of get back to normal, if and when they do, are you planning to offer like entertainment inside of the restaurant or anything like that?
We have big plans for our patio. So I'm hoping to have a stage, like a small stage on the patio. We have a lot of real estate to work with out there.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely want to expand and have area for live music and a bar area outside. We are really close to getting our beer and wine license from TABC. So we're just waiting on that to come back and then we'll be able to sell alcohol.
Very nice. Now, yeah, I have noticed driving by recently that you do have a nice little extension on the back. Is that for the pits, or are we looking for extra dining here?
That is for the pits. We have to have shelter while we're cooking, and so we started on this structure a few months ago, and the whole COVID-19 crisis has kind of slowed things down, but we're maybe a week away from completing all that.
Wow, very nice. Now, it's odd to try to look into the future because obviously we don't know what's going to happen or how things are going, but what can people I mean, you've already kind of touched on things people can look forward to, but what else can people start looking forward to when it comes to Hurtado BBQ?
So we are going to have a breakfast menu on weekends very soon. We're working on that. We've kind of experimented here and there, offering breakfast tacos and brisket migas and things like that. So we will be opening that up to the public fairly soon and making that announcement hopefully within the next few weeks. Mm-hmm. And then once we have the beer and wine license and everything's back to normal, we're definitely going to focus on the patio area and making this one of the best patios to go to in Arlington for brunch or for lunch or dinner. I mean, I really want to kind of focus on the outdoor space that we have.
Perfect.
That's awesome. That is all really exciting. I know we're highly interested in the breakfast menu.
Yep, we love breakfast, brunch, and patios. So all
Yep.
great things.
I'm a huge breakfast person. Yeah,
and alcohol.
I can't wait. Love alcohol, so you can't go wrong there.
So you've been on our show before, but we don't think we've had a chance to ask you. We have a segment on the show called the Tournament of Toppings. We try to find the best pizza here in Arlington. What is your favorite pizza place here in Arlington?
Oh, my favorite pizza place, I have to say, is Old School.
There you go. Yeah.
I went there when I was in college at UTA. I go there and try and do food swaps with them. The owner's really cool with us, so it was actually their idea to do the food swap, and we're like, yeah, no problem. We don't